Wednesday night, people talking sports. Stavros Halkias in for kid show business Anthony DeVito.
That's right. I'm coming for your spot, baby. All right?
DeVito sent me this weird photo last night. He's on the road in Minneapolis. That is a very strange photo. He texted right before he wrote "you up," which is a little troubling.
He's trying to seduce you.
So, and Stavros, you just got back from a Euro trip.
That's right. I'm vacation Stavros. I'm still in that mode. You can see clearly. Yeah, I just got back from the Euro trip, and actually, I'm doing my part. I'm trying to reach out to Knicks. I went to France, and here's a little peace offering. You know, maybe let's get Frankie T.
Yeah, Frank Ntilikina, eat your heart out. This is kind of like what Kyle O'Quinn did for Porzingis when he went to Latvia.
That's right.
You're coming on the show, Frank. We feel it. Well, coming up, some of the stuff in the news here. We got the Cleveland Indians. This is huge.
Yeah.
This is the best thing to happen to the Indians since ever. They've had a very storied history. Things have been difficult.
Kind of on a 200-year losing streak right now. Yeah.
And the Dodgers are right behind them. But we have a big show, Stavi. I mean, we got Ansel Elgort from Baby Driver.
Huge, yeah. That's two Hollywood heartthrobs on the show tonight, baby.
You and him.
What's up?
Coming up next. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks
man.
for having me, man.
I love your shirt.
Thank you. It's a good one.
Throwback.
Yeah, the throwback logo. I mean, throwing back to the, for me, I was never alive during these times, but
Yeah.
obviously they were good times, so.
We haven't lived through the good stuff yet.
No, not really.
That's why you're younger than me. Like I had the 94 and the 99 teams. You were probably too young for the 99 team, right?
No, yeah, the first memory I have of Patrick Ewing was when he was being traded. And my brother is that guy was the best Knick. And I was like, oh, that's too bad they're trading him then.
But you were saying you feel like we're in a good place.
I feel like we're in a great place. I am so happy with everything. Well,
Do you like the Hardaway signing?
I think that at least he's a young player, and
I agree with that.
If he would have stayed on the Knicks and performed like he did on the Hawks, we would have signed him.
That's true.
We would have been like, we drafted this guy, he's playing well, we're going to sign him.
That's true.
Because how long is that contract? 4 years?
4 years, and he's 25, so it aligns with his prime.
It's fine.
You like it?
I'm totally fine with that, because I don't think Porzingis is going to be a championship-winning guy for at least a couple more years or 3 years. I think I think the way he's progressing and the way he's been playing in EuroLeague.
Yeah. Are you following that?
Yeah. I mean, I watch the highlights. Every game I watch his highlights. I don't watch the games, but.
Yeah, me too.
I watch his highlights, and it's just amazing.
I'm not going to sit through Latvia, Slovenia. But,
no, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, Willie looks great. He looks great.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and hopefully, and you're high on Frank Ntilikina, too.
Yes, I am high on him. I think that, I loved that when they did his first interview after they drafted him, they asked him what his favorite part of the game was, and his best part of the game. He said defense.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice. And I also think that, I think that these European guys, and a guy like Frank, if you drafted an 18-year-old American kid, you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
Because sometimes they can be kind of head cases. But I honestly think, and I love America, obviously, but I think that a kid from France, it's he probably got all his drinking and craziness out of the way when he was 14.
That's a great take.
But you have these kids who are playing basketball in America, and they're not allowed to drink or do anything, and you can't go out, you can't go to a club, obviously.
Right.
And then they get an NBA contract, and they're in New York City, and they're like, oh, One Oak Avenue every night, you know what I mean? And then you don't know what you're gonna get. But I think with Frank, he'll be focused. I totally like Frank, and I believe in him, and he's huge.
Yeah, he's for a point guard, massive.
And for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a man.
He does look like a man. And I think you're right. I think we should lower the drinking age. I think that's what I got from that.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant because it's a big deal with Tim, but I like his game. I love that he's a shooter. I love that there's aspects of his game that make me think of Starks, that make me think of a gunner. I get excited about that.
Yeah. I think Tim has a good head on his shoulders also. I met him when he was on the Knicks the first time, and he was super nice.
Yeah.
And,
did he see your movies?
I think maybe he had, yeah. I was one of those times where I asked him for a photo, and then he came back and was like, oh, can I get one on my phone? which is always
must
cool.
feel good.
Yeah. I mean, because sometimes, I don't know, you can tell when people are nice people right away when you meet them. I got that with Porzingis and Hernan Gomez. I've met them briefly, and they're all really nice. And some players, I was at All-Star Weekend, it's like you go and say hi, and they sort of like, yeah, thanks, bro. You know what I mean?
I want a name.
Well, no, it's mean, but I don't know. You know, some of them are nicer than others. You know what I mean? And Tim Hardaway, he was a nice guy. You could tell he was a real dude. So.
I saw Baby Driver. It's really good.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're really good in it.
Appreciate it.
Was that exciting to work with Edgar Wright?
It was awesome. Yeah.
He's a great director.
He's awesome. Edgar Wright is great because he has such a specific style. And a lot of film directors, sometimes you're on set and it feels a little manic and they don't know what they want. And they're relying on you a lot to sort of like bring something and they say, oh yeah, I like that. But now let's try something totally different because I'm not sure what I want. Yeah. But Edgar Wright knows exactly what he wants. We sat for like a month before we started filming and did rehearsals on everything and working out all the scenes. And when we were finally on set filming it, everything was concise and it actually it was one of the most easy breezy experiences I've had filming something because I sort of knew I could show up to set and rely on Edgar to tell me what to do. And it was great. It's probably like having a great basketball coach.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't have to try to create something every time. It's like I imagine with Popovich, all those players just show up and say, okay, what do we do, Popovich?
I think he's like a D'Antoni director because it's like fast paced.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got like a vision, right?
Yeah.
He's that's like 3 people probably got that reference. But we got it. We understood it. I thought I made a really great point. You guys gave me silence, but that's okay. I mean, you know what I noticed when I first saw Shaun of the Dead that it was like it moved so quickly. Like there were these quick cuts. I mean,
but that takes a lot of time.
I'm sure, yeah.
Because you have to film so many different angles. It'd be like if they filmed this interview with like 15 different angles.
It's not happening with these 2 cameras. We're working with a budget here. But so that was exciting. Who do you want to work with? If you could work with any director right now?
Chris Nolan.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Nolan just does, everything he does is great. I think it's like he doesn't really miss.
Yeah.
It's like with Batman and stuff. I mean, like
Batman was unbelievable.
The Heath Ledger Joker Batman, that was insane. And Batman Begins was they go to that dojo and he's training in the beginning. And then the Tom Hardy Bane Batman.
Yes.
The villains are so good in those Batman.
They're great.
Which
and
I
so
think
is Bruce Wayne. He's not like a superhero. He's like a person.
He's so great. I mean, Christian Bale is probably one of my top favorite actors.
You want to work with him?
Yeah, I'd love to. Him and Tom Hardy. I mean, all the Christopher Nolan people. It's like, also I know if I was in a Christopher Nolan movie, I get to work with those guys.
Yeah.
Which would be insane. Like, you'd already have the cast. It's like sort of like Edgar Wright. He put together this insane cast. It's a director that puts together the cast. It's not really an actor.
Right.
So it's like you've seen movies with some big actors you might like, and the cast around them isn't that great because maybe they're getting paid to come on. But it's a director who brings together an insane cast, and Chris Nolan's one of those people who does that.
You know, it's crazy. So I was on the road one night, and I just, you know when like the hotel, and it takes forever for the channels to change, and you're like, all right, I give up, whatever, this channel, and it's Corden, and you come on.
Oh yeah.
And you sing "I'm Easy" with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
And Corden, and I was like, holy crap, this guy's really talented.
Oh, thanks, man.
What I do is a ruse. This is all a joke. I had just been at the comedy club. That's a different aspect of performance. I mean, you're an actor, but then I'm like, you could be a professional singer.
Thanks, man. That's what I'm trying to do that too. I have an EP that I've been working on, like 5 songs that are finishing up right now. I'm trying to put out in the next few months. With music, I love it because I write the songs and I produce the songs, and I'm in the studio sort of orchestrating the project, and it's versus when I'm acting, sometimes I just show up to set and I have someone tell me what to do, and I'm a part of a great puzzle, but it's not my puzzle. But with music, it's my puzzle, so I really enjoy it for that reason, and I'm excited for my EP to come out because it's like my baby.
I'm excited, man. All right, well, we got more with Ansel Elgort right after this. People Talking Sports. Keep watching. We're back on People Talking Sports. We have a great panel today. First off, you know him from the movie Baby Driver, and I'm an adult with a learner's permit. Ansel Elgort is here. Stavros Halkias, he just got back from Greece, the country or the musical. You decide. And he filled in for John Starks last minute. 6th man off the bench, the Sin City Cobra, James Mattern.
Thank you. Yeah. Just like John Starks, I was bagging groceries before he won. It was meant to be, baby!
This is an exciting story out of the gate. Kristaps Porzingis meets one of his idols, Andrei Kirilenko. I love that Porzingis has respect. That could be Kirilenko. That could also be one of the kidnappers from The Big Lebowski. But I love that Kirilenko, he seems to be excited to meet these guys, you know?
Kristaps.
Uh,
Yeah.
He seemed excited too.
Yeah.
Porzingis seems excited to meet Dirk Nowitzki or Kirilenko. It's exciting to be a young guy because I read that Darko Milicic did not know any players.
No.
Like when he got drafted, he was like, "I'm going to say my favorite guy is Garnett because that's what they want." Whereas it seems like Porzingis is a student of the game and is actually savoring these moments.
I don't think Darko knew him. I think that's how little of players he knew. Like when they called his name, it's like, who? Oh, that's you. You just got drafted by the Pistons. You're going to Detroit.
Oh my God.
We come out
Darko
firing,
Milicic.
sir. Bam, bam.
What's Darko Milicic doing right now?
He's literally a cherry farmer.
Oh
That's
my
not
He
a
is.
joke.
That's not a joke.
He's a legit farmer.
Yeah.
As we make fun of him, he's sitting on $50 million that he made in the NBA.
Yeah.
So he did quite well.
LeBron, Melo, and D-Wade all make much better cherries than him.
Yeah, I mean, you're a big Porzingis guy.
Big Porzingis fan.
What
Yeah.
has he seen? Do you know if he's seen Baby Driver?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's too focused playing basketball.
He
I
is
feel like he
into
doesn't
it.
do anything but play basketball and eat fish heads and with his brothers.
Do you follow his Instagram stories where he's working out?
I do. Yeah, he looks like the Terminator, and he looks like he's from Rocky. What is it, Rocky 5 or something like that?
Yeah, Rocky 4.
I mean, he's
Rocky 5 is when things really went downhill. So hopefully not for a while. The NBA is evaluating the draft lottery reform to discourage tanking. In a related story, if this show doesn't improve, we might be moving to Oklahoma City. So, I don't know. I mean, there's reason to be suspicious, but then tanking doesn't always work. Like, look at Orlando. They've sucked forever.
I like tanking. I know it sounds weird. It's a hot take, everybody. Put your gloves on. It's a hot. Here's the thing. In NBA, like especially if you're in the Eastern Conference, right? Miami's been the only squad that can consistently get big free agents. Boston now only because of Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens leaves, bye-bye everybody. No one's coming for chowder. This is true. I mean, Chicago and even the Knicks struggle now to get free agents. So your only chance now is to get lucky with the ping pongs. So that, you know, like Europe has like relegation, and so with soccer, so it's kind of fun. If your team sucks, hey, can we stay above? Or if your team's in the league below, it's like, can we make it up? Well, this is what keeps you interested in March. If you're a Nets fan and you have your pick, or someone else who's like no good, it's like, oh my goodness, are we gonna get those extra 5 ping pongs? Think about that. Like that gives you hope. It's like, oh my God, I hope the Cavs beat us by 50. That's gonna make the third pick that much better. Like that is your optimism when you're no good and you can't get free agents. It's your only hope.
But isn't that weird? We have a system in sports where it's like you're rooting to lose.
Yes.
You know? It's like, it's bizarre. I like it. I like it because I just wish more things worked that way. You know, it's like I want to be rewarded for being bad at things. Like that would be great. It's like it's not that I'm not having sex. I'm just trying to get a better position in next year's sex lottery. You know what I mean? But work on my personality, go to the gym. No, thank you.
You got a hot college prospect coming in next year. I feel it.
So here's an idea. So they keep trying to think of new ways for the lottery. I think the lottery, all right, should be like the real lottery. Like you have to buy tickets. So let's say, all right, hypothetically, you have the worst record, all right? So you get 100, like let's just say it's 100 ping pong balls. You have to buy them. You get like an allotted salary cap to buy ping pong balls every like 5 years.
Wow.
So if you're tanking, so like the Sixers have to make a decision every year, the last few years, how many of these are we going to buy? Because eventually, even if we have the worst record, we're going to run out of them. So if you get left with 20 in a 5-year period, then guess what? You might as well play hard the rest of that year and see what happens, because your chances really aren't that good if you end up with the worst record, because you still can only buy 20 balls. There you go, Commissioner Silver. I'm hired.
Stephon Marbury is coming back. He's planning to come back at 40 years old. He's been playing in China, so I'm guessing his confidence is very high.
Yeah.
He only averaged like 21 and a half in China, which still sounds good. But if you're going to go from the Chinese league to the NBA, I need 40 out of you, because nothing for nothing. When I rolled out of bed, I scored 8 in China. All right? I put 8 on the board in front of Beijing, right there, baby. Falling out of bed.
Well, that's the funny thing about this is I read the Instagram post where he talks about like he's making the comeback, and he said he started by saying, "I wanted to end my career with the Beijing Ducks, but the GM had other ideas." And it's like if you're getting cut by the Beijing Ducks, you're not coming to the NBA. If the team that cuts you sounds delicious, like, you're not making it. No one goes from the Rome fettuccine Alfredos to the Timberwolves. You know what I mean?
To me, it's kind of like what Darren Williams did with Cleveland, and he wasn't that good. You can't. That's not the kind of player that's a spot-up shooter. That's not the kind of player that can't like touch the ball off the bench randomly and hits a big shot.
Right.
They need to feel it out. They need to have the ball in their hands. That's why he was probably good in China, because he literally no one else ever touched the ball.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's like the only way you can stay in the NBA if you're like 40 is if you're a great shooter, or if you're just like if you murdered someone with LeBron and he just keeps you on his team no matter what. Like James Jones, why is he there? You know what I mean? Like
LeBron still hasn't won without him, though.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, you're totally right. I mean, you need to be, or you have to be like Kevin Willis played forever. You can be like one of those bigs that plays forever.
Just grabs 100 rebounds again quietly. Yeah.
Or Robert Parrish, he played forever. If you're a big, you can do it. Or if you're Ray Allen.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Robert Parrish played for a while on the bench for Chicago for certain other reasons. To, hanging out with Phil in hotel rooms late, listening to Grateful Dead. Do I need to?
Sure.
Boy, I got everyone real comfortable on that. Yeah, they're both potheads, everybody. You can cut this, but we all know what I'm talking about. All right? It's almost legal everywhere, so just relax.
This is huge news for Kobe. The question was, which number do you hang in the rafters when you retire it? I say his lawyer's number, because that one definitely got them a couple extra rings.
They retired his lawyer's tie in Denver. Just hanging in the courtroom.
No, look, Kobe, if you break up both his numbers, you have one with 8 All-Star appearances and one with 10, one with 2 championships and one with 3. I mean, they're both Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
One with 2 without Shaq, though.
That's true.
And
that's
everyone
the big
hates
one.
this argument. Hates it. So I'm glad I'm really far away from. I know we probably don't hate it because we're New York fans, but Kobe with Shaq, it's different. If Kobe had never won those 2 championships without Shaq, I don't think it would be. He would never be in the greatest of all time conversation, because to me, Shaq is the greatest of all time kind of guy. I mean, that guy in like the playoffs, in the first year they won, was averaging like 30 and 15 in the playoffs.
Here's my idea for Kobe. Instead of going as 8 or was it 24? It's the other one. Guess what? You brought up Shaq. Big spike. He should go with Shaq's number. They should. What was Shaq? 34.
34.
Yeah. Bryant, 34. That's what he should do. That'd be the ultimate. Yeah, I got 2 without you, son. Boom. To me, that's the most Kobe thing for Kobe to do.
It really is. Yeah.
We were talking about Europeans earlier, though, and Kobe is like a European American. I mean, he was raised in Italy, and that's another example of like a guy who, if he had fun at one point, he probably got out of the way in Europe, having fun in Italy. I mean, I was just in Italy yesterday, man. It's fun. It's like, and I was like in the club, and there were like kids in there, but it wasn't weird because you're in Italy.
That's
like
crazy.
Kids having fun.
I know all about fun. I'll be in Tampa this weekend. Tampa, Florida.
I had a chicken parmesan yesterday, so basically the same thing.
We're back on People Talking Sports with Liz Gonzalez and another thing.
But before we get into that, I have to ask, because when you guys were talking, the only thing I could focus on, Ansel, was your ring. What's going on? What is it?
Oh, it's a crocodile.
Symbolize anything? Just a giant crocodile on your finger?
A giant crocodile. I bought it in Italy. I secretly, deep down, I really want to be a rapper. That's why I'm wearing Louis Vuitton jeans and a crocodile diamond ring on my hand. Yeah, this is the closest to rapper I'll ever get.
By far the snazziest dressed person we've ever had on the show.
I
mean, you are sitting next to somebody in a Hawaiian shirt.
Old Navy, baby. Clearance rack.
Louis Vuitton, Old Navy, a homeless man, denim jacket.
Is that what H&M stands for? Homeless man?
Exactly.
All these years, I didn't know.
Now you know.
I should stick with Hot Topic.
You know, here to throw down some knowledge. You guys were talking about Marbury earlier, and in my opinion, one of the saddest things an athlete can go through is his inability to admit when it's time to hang up his cleats. I'm looking at you, Adrian Peterson. On Monday night, in a game that was supposed to be a revenge game against his former team, he just didn't really show up. 6 carries, only 18 yards. disappointing to watch, and the only thing I could think was you should have retired when you were released earlier this year, because now he's 32, he's coming off of the worst season of his career, and most importantly, that 2,000-yard season is being masked by images of him yelling at Sean Payton on the sidelines. Not a good look.
Yeah, I just love everyone is really big on when people should retire. It's like, oh, their legacy. These guys don't care about legacy. They care about being able to roof their house, like when make a new kitchen. Like, oh, he should have retired. He doesn't care. If someone's going to pay him money, make money. That's like what it's about. Like he only has a few years, especially in the NFL. Most of the time, it's not guaranteed money. As a running back, your shelf life is insanely short. Yeah. Get paid. Stay on the sideline till you're 50 if you can.
He's made his money. He's making half the salary that he was making last year. So he's also devalued himself in the process.
I think he should play another season, and then next season he should pay the Saints to keep playing.
There you go. I think he should play for the Beijing Ducks. I bet he could score 21 and a half. What do you know about that? Yeah.
But I don't think it's about money for these guys. That's the thing. AP's made money. It's a pride thing. This guy, his whole life since he was like 11 years old, he's been incredible at football. This is his life. He doesn't know what else to do. Like,
so go to a team where it makes sense. Go to Seattle. You would be useful in Seattle. They don't need him in New Orleans. I mean, it would be like for example, we were talking about earlier, Adam Sandler just needs to stop making movies. He was so funny and engaging and like a big childhood favorite of mine, and now it's like, what are you doing?
Well, we're comedians, so we're not going to join you on this.
Adam, I think you're doing great work. If you need like a small fat guy in your next movie, think about me.
I just got cast in Little or Nicky, so I can't.
Well, this has been,
that wouldn't surprise me. See,
this has been a really great episode. Thank you so much for Ansel Elgort for coming by.
Ansel,
James L
what you got?
Oh, I was just gonna say Adam Sandler could also score 21 on the Beijing Ducks. He's a great basketball player.
If you haven't seen it, see Baby Driver. It's awesome. Keep watching People Talking Sports, and good night.
Yeah.
Killer.